All right, so film is literature. We're back with another episode. I'm Justin. This
I'm
is what
Jane.
name are you going by this week?
Kaiser Sose.
Kaiser Sose. He's
Yeah,
here. I like it. I like that better than the fake name you used last week.
right.
So I'll let you kind of pick the movie this time. So do you want to go ahead and tell us what movie that you picked?
I picked Remember the Titans. It was based on a sports movie. We wanted to do a sports movie, something
Yeah.
along the lines of something that we can, at least for me, I don't know if you played football or not.
No, no. I,
Okay,
I was I was I was a lot smaller in high school, so I did not. I was too scared.
right. Oh, okay. So yeah, Remember the Titans. Great movie. Had more than just about football. It's about a community, about a lot of uh, race, which
Yeah,
was a good thing.
it's a true story too.
Yes, true story. 1971.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the movie came out in the year 2000. So how old well, you're older than I am. So was this like a big deal when this movie came out? Because I didn't know anything about it at the time, really.
Yeah, so it was one of those things. Anything Denzel plays in, Denzel is a great actor and
Yeah,
he's real famous. So anything that he plays in is always a big deal. Actually, Denzel always does these depictions of true stories, and he does a great job. And
oh
actually,
yeah.
you would probably think one of your later questions is he my favorite character? No,
No,
but
okay, well then that might. I was gonna say we might have different favorite characters, but maybe we have the same one now. Because he's not my favorite character either.
right.
But yeah, he's definitely. This was, I think, probably at the height of his popularity because when you watch the movie, like it doesn't say, this is a WB movie or this is a Disney movie or whatever. The first thing it says is Denzel Washington. Like I
Yeah,
don't know if you noticed that, but that was the first thing that came across the screen.
I did not. I did
Well,
not.
actually, I take that back. The first thing was based on a true story. The second thing was Denzel Washington.
Right. Make it a
So
little more drama.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and obviously, again, this movie came out when I was kind of younger, and I didn't really know much about it. But were any other actors like I know now we look back and I say, "Holy crap, this movie had a lot of famous people in it." But at the time, did you know any of these people?
No. Denzel.
Maybe
trying to
Wood
think.
Harris, maybe.
Not even Wood Harris. Wood Harris kind of made his big. He was in smaller movies, like little B movies. But
Yeah,
Wood Harris made his thing when after The Wire, and that was
yeah,
like '02, '03.
yeah. That came out
So
after this.
right, exactly. Wood Harris, yeah, and that's when he started kind of, getting there.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, okay. I was just wondering because I was like, man, like, none of these people were really popular at that point in time. Like, now looking back on it, you look at you got Ryan Gosling who was in there. Obviously, he's like super famous now.
He was a
Um,
little kid, wasn't he? He was a baby in him. Not a baby,
yeah.
but he could play high school. So
I mean, he was probably literally in high school when this movie came out. He
yeah.
he looked the most age appropriate out of all the kids.
You're absolutely right because these kids did look like they had some wear and tear on them.
Yeah. So you had him, like we said, Wood Harris. You had Hayden Panettiere was the little daughter. She's kind of famous.
I didn't. So I was going to look for her after the movie. I just forgot.
Yeah.
See what she
So
looked like today.
she looks really hot now. She's married to that. She's married to Vladimir Klitschko, the boxer, who's 7'1", and she's like 5'2".
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So then there was a couple other people too, like Will Patton, the white coach, Coach Yost.
Yeah, he was kind of he's kind of not famous, but that wasn't his first rodeo. He played.
No.
He was a good actor. He is
Yeah.
a good actor.
Oh yeah. He's definitely every movie he's in. I enjoy him. But yeah. So I think I remember watching this. So I'll give my history of this movie. The first time I watched this, I think was like sixth or seventh grade. They showed it in class. Like it was like we were studying, I think like U.S. history maybe,
Right.
and this was like a movie that they showed one day. And I
And
think
what-
until yesterday, that's the only time I've ever actually watched it all the way through.
Really?
Yeah, like I've seen parts of it on TV, because it comes on TV every day, it seems like.
Right.
But I never watched it all the way through until yesterday or last night when I was like, I need to watch this for our show.
Right.
So, what about you? Like, do you remember the first time you saw it? Did you see it in theaters? Like, or
No,
was
no,
this
I'm not
what?
really a movie guy, movie theater
No?
guy, because I fall asleep.
Ah.
It's too dark for me. So, but it was a big deal in my area. So I'm from the Washington D.C. area.
Oh
So
yeah.
and it's happened in Alexandria, Virginia. So T.C. Williams is in Alexandria. So
So
it's basically
that's really the name of the school?
yes.
Okay.
T.C. Williams. Actually, I know some folks that graduated from T.C. Williams. Not that early, not in '71, but um, T.C. Williams is close. The demographics has changed since then, but even the demographics has changed. But that's why it was so important because it's always a place where you can home. It's home.
Yeah.
I probably drive through Alexandria. I used to drive through Alexandria at least twice or three times a week.
Oh wow.
If if you coordinate, I mean, if you it's like Charlotte, Harrisburg,
Okay.
uh, Concord, just like Gastonia. It's not as far as Gastonia, so but if I had to say, it's between like Concord and Charlotte.
I got
Like,
you.
yeah. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, so you might it was. I guess when we get into the movie, we can kind of just talk about some of the demographics and how that one incident you can tell how the area was.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because I'm horrible with like locations of things. So the movie takes place in Alexandria. They go to Gettysburg at one point. Is that close
Yeah.
to each other, or is this like
Gettysburg is about 2 hours away.
okay, so that's close enough.
That's fairly close. Yeah, Gettysburg is like almost like what Greensboro for
Yeah.
you. It's not quite 2 hours, but it's 2 hours away.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering, I was like, man, like how far of a trip was that? Because they made it seem like it was kind of close, but then I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know if that's really like I don't know Virginia at all. I have no idea where anything is in Virginia.
Virginia
So
is big, but it touches a lot of states. It touches a few states, but
yeah,
um,
it should touch what, like probably 5 states, probably.
yes. What Maryland, Virginia,
Maryland
West Virginia, Tennessee, North
and North
Carolina.
Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's
That's
pretty cool.
yeah.
So you said but you watched this movie though, like you saw it the first time probably like in 2000 or 2001.
Yeah. I probably saw about it at that time because everyone talking about it. It's a big thing, especially when you got a school being talked about in your area. I mean, I never really been to TC Williams. More so, I heard of it. I heard people that went to the school,
Yeah.
but other than that, yeah, it's one of those things. It's almost like somebody doing a film at Smoking Q.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
that'd
so
be pretty cool. Yeah. It'd be like when they did Talladega Nights, they filmed that here in Charlotte, some of it.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
like a lot of the race scenes take place at the racetrack up here.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
So that was like when that movie came out, that was like not only was it Will Ferrell, but it was also, hey, it's filmed here. We gotta go see it. So
right, exactly.
I totally get what you're talking about. I guess my next question is TC Williams still pretty good at football?
I don't know. I'm gonna say no. They're not
Okay.
as good as they used to be. Um, but you know how they do these schools and these school districts.
Oh yeah.
They push the kids into like one school so they can dominate, and they use addresses that they didn't do all that back then. So
Oh, it was a lot more legit back then.
right, and there's more schools today. Like back in the day, it was just maybe like I can remember when I was in high school. Um, my high school was one of nine, maybe not even that, one of eight. There was eight high
Yeah.
schools in the whole Washington D.C. area, eight or
Oh
nine.
wow.
So now there are plenty of high schools. Like
Oh
they
yeah.
have these, charter schools and things of that nature. So it kind of messes up the lines of where you get your players from.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many high schools there were here in Charlotte when I was in school, but I know since then they've added like 6 or 7. So
Yeah,
I've only been I guess I've been out of high school for like 18 years now, but
yeah,
still, to add 6 or 7 in that time frame is just kind of crazy.
it is. It is. I've been out a little longer. Actually, this is my high school reunion shirt. So
Oh, nice.
I've been out 30. It'd be 30 years next year.
Oh yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm still kicking.
That's awesome, dude. So let's get into this movie a little bit here.
Yep.
Let's talk like some of the background of the movie. That's why I like to start with
Mhm.
before we get to our categories. So the movie came out in 2000. It costed 30 million to make,
Yeah.
which to me seems kind of like a lot, but I figure Denzel was probably a lot of that. I figure he was probably
Yeah.
5 million at least.
10 at least.
10. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
a $10 million actor. Yeah.
Yeah. So it but in the box office it made 136.8 million. So that's a success.
Yes. Very. I mean, when you got those type of actors in there, and
Yeah.
it was a good story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you look at the story and people start acting and start really, just looking at it, it was a good movie. It was well put together. It was you can identify either on either side, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, it was a good movie. So yeah, I'm surprised they didn't make more than that.
Yeah, well, that was so it came out in September. Yeah, so it was kind of like at a weird time. Like that's kind of like not normally a time when big movies come out.
Right. Right.
Like normally big movies are going to come out November, December,
Right.
January. So this
Yeah.
one kind of came out a little earlier.
Was it 138 million the debut when it box office, or
No,
is that
that's just total
the
for what it
total?
made while it was in theaters.
Okay.
So probably I don't know how long it was in theaters, but you got to figure probably at least 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
At least.
but all right. So it came out in September 29th, 2000. Opening weekend, it was number one at the box office.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you want to hear the rest of the other four of the top five?
Yes.
All right. I've seen one of these. So, all right. So number two was Bring It On, which is the one that I've seen.
Oh, the cheerleader movie?
Yeah, the cheerleading movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Number two was The Watcher. I had no idea what that is.
The Watcher.
Yeah.
Haven't seen it. Nope.
No. Number three was Nurse Betty.
Is that a no, that's not like a porn type thing, is it?
No, I don't know. I don't really know what it is either.
Oh,
And number five was a scary movie, What Lies Beneath.
you're right. Only saw Bring It On.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Now we talked about this a minute ago. Your daughter, I guess, is a cheerleader. Has she seen that movie?
Bring It On, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Bring It On. I've seen. That's why I saw it.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. I thought maybe you saw it in like 2000 when it came out.
No, absolutely not. No.
Hey, I'll admit I watched it back then, but I was also going through puberty, so I thought that yeah.
Exactly. And what 2000? Yeah, I was 24.
Yeah, not a good age
So,
for that movie.
yeah.
For sure. Okay, so for the year, Remember the Titans was number 14th at the box office.
Okay.
That seems probably about right.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Here's the top five.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the top five. Number one was How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Did you see that one?
I did.
It was
I don't
okay.
even know. I don't know which one it was because the Grinch.
It's the one with Jim Carrey.
Yes, I seen that.
Yeah, it was okay. It was decent.
It wasn't number one.
No, not at all.
Right.
Not at all. And number two on this list for the year should not be up here either. Mission Impossible 2.
No, it's one of those things we talked about last year. Like the first one was good, and then the second one gets so much anticipation, and then it's okay.
Plus, Tom Cruise was a big seller at that point.
Tom Cruise is still a big seller. So
for sure, yeah. I mean, so number three for the year though is a great movie, and it should probably be number one if you ask me. Gladiator.
Gladiator should be well. It depends on the next two you say, but Gladiator was awesome. You understand me?
Oh,
awesome.
So if you look up Film as Literature on Spotify or on YouTube, you can see I actually did a recap of that movie already with something else. So you can kind of get my thoughts on that movie and how awesome I think it is.
Yeah. Oh, it was awesome. I mean, it had some fails, but
yeah,
for the most part, that thing was a good movie.
Yeah, it's probably on my top 15 or 20 movies of all time.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Number four for the year, I really like, and it's a movie I've not seen in a very long time. The Perfect Storm. Do you remember that one?
I think I've seen it.
It was like George Clooney. They go out on the boat. It's based off of a true story too. They go out on a boat and like the hurricane gets them.
No, I didn't see it. I haven't seen it.
Oh man, it's pretty good. It's who else is in it? It's Mark Wahlberg.
Perfect. Usually I don't like the Wahlbergs.
Oh yeah, not even Donna.
Not even what?
New Kids on the Block fan. Well, you should definitely watch The Perfect Storm, dude. I think it's a great movie. It's
I'm gonna check it
Who
out.
else? It's got a couple other people in it too that you would know. But yeah, it's like they're fishermen and they go out and try to, it's fishing season. So they
Okay.
go out and try to catch the fish, and then a hurricane comes and they get caught and they die. And I don't know. It's based off of a true story.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta
And then
check it out.
number five for the year was Meet the Parents.
The Falkers.
Well, yeah, the first one, yeah, the
That
Fockers,
was
yeah,
a good movie. That
absolutely,
was a funny movie. That
yeah,
should have been like 2 or 3.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. That was a good movie. That
That's
had,
might
yeah.
be Ben. To me, that might be Ben Stiller's funniest movie.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if it's his
Yeah.
best movie, but it's definitely his funniest movie.
I don't know, but I think Zoolander maybe. Zoolander was funny too. I know you probably didn't like it.
No, I like Zoolander at times, but the whole movie, it's like the funny parts are really funny, but the whole movie itself was kind of like, eh.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. You're right.
Like, whereas Meet the Parents, at least, the funny parts are really funny, and the story was actually pretty good.
Right, right. Got it. Yeah.
But I mean, that's a classic story of, hey, let's go meet the parents, and funny stuff happens, and the dad doesn't like them.
Yep. Yep. I'm probably one of those dads.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Come meet me.
It wouldn't surprise me. So I guess, man, I've seen all those movies. I've seen all five of those movies. I'm probably putting Remember the Titans though above a couple of those. I think.
You're right. You're right. I mean, I'm gonna tell you the God honest truth. Remember the Titans is almost like a tearjerker.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
As far as and I don't cry.
yeah.
I don't
We're
cry. I
men.
mean,
We don't cry.
right. I had some moments. I had some moments, and it wasn't even. It was. I had some moments. I had some moments. It was a good, feel good movie. Like, damn,
Yeah,
I want to go ahead and just hug people. You know what I mean?
for sure. And we can talk about a tear jerking moment here right now with our number one, our first topic here, our favorite scene.
Hmm.
And I will tell you, my favorite scene is, to me, the tear jerking moment of the movie is whenever Gary and Julius go strong side, left side
Yeah.
at the camp. That's my favorite scene. And that's like a tearjerker. That's like when they come together and they're like, you know what? We can be friends and we can be teammates.
Right. Right. Exactly. I think that. So I said the training camp was my favorite scene.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the training camp was my favorite scene, but I think my favorite scene was when he said, "Who's your daddy?" What's the
Oh,
yeah?
really?
So it was one of the, and it's because he could have reacted differently,
Yeah,
but he kind of so let you know, why you on this team, I'm your daddy. You know what I mean? So he kind of, it's one of those things, dominance. You gotta, especially during that time, doing that. This was a white male he's basically feeling himself. He's at the peak of maturity,
yeah. He's
and
an All-American.
he's all American, and it's like he's and it's during that time period where it was some integration, but this your side, this my side, and
Yeah,
when you kind of come together, there's no coming together. There's some separation, and it was a good, who's your daddy, but you're absolutely right. Doing the whole training camp thing. Oh my God, you
yeah. I
saw it.
mean, the whole time that they go off to Gettysburg, that whole
Yes,
from the moment that you mentioned all the way until the moment that I mentioned, that whole part is just, to me, that's the best part of the movie. Just that whole
right,
the
right.
whole
But the thing with that was, when you are in a isolated situation, when you remove yourself from the masses or from the environment, of course you have no choice, because
Yeah.
everybody's hurting, and that's basically group pain.
Oh yeah.
These 2 or 3 days, that's group pain. It's like when you go on camp, and you go to camp for football, you go to camp for basketball. That's why they take you out of your element.
Oh yeah.
It's group pain. So the only thing you can do is trust the person beside you that's enduring the same pain. So that's what brings you together.
Absolutely.
That group pain, or that group discomfort. Let me say
Yeah.
discomfort. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
mean, yeah, because it gives you something to bond over. Like
exactly.
you kind of all bond over your hatred for being there.
But it's lasting memories. This
Yeah,
is
that too. Yeah.
this is why, even as you go past, this scene, and you go, like, when they died, the guy died, everyone's there,
Yeah.
because it's that one time that they had all of them had that group discomfort during that season, because it was discomfort not only being at football, running, sweating, not drinking water. It's the racial tension
Yeah.
there too. Some of these folks have never seen a black guy, or have been around a black guy, or has been around a white guy for that matter. You know what I mean? So when you bring both of them, those elements together, like, oh wow, it's scary. And when you're scared, you start doing dumb stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
So yeah, that was yeah. So we both agree. Like the first, what was it, probably the first 30 minutes or so of that movie is by far the best. Another part that I really like, I'm just going to mention, it's not my favorite scene, but I just really like it because I really feel like we needed to see more football in this movie. Like it kind of upsets me that we don't see more football. Is when they go on like the montage of like, they show the highlights of the first two games,
Right.
and then after that they just show like a little montage of like the next 8 games.
Right.
Like I love that part. One, I love montages. I love just those kind of scenes always get me. But we actually get to see some football during that, and I'm like, man, like this is what I want to see in this movie.
Right. But these folks wasn't football players, so they had to kind of, do
For
that.
sure. I mean, yeah, this movie was not made by a football player because the football scenes also are not very good. Don't get me started on that. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So we both kind of agree on that scene though. That's pretty awesome. Like
that's a good scene. That's a good scene. I mean, I really, it's a lot of good scenes though.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a lot of good scenes, and it makes me feel, like I said, it's a feel good movie. It makes you feel good. It make you want to, benefit of the doubt of people. People are people, but not everybody's bad.
No, I mean, we're really deep down, everybody is good, probably. Really, I think is what this movie teaches you.
Right. They just come from a different walk of life. Doesn't mean we can't bond on something.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can bond over something. Really, honestly, you just got to figure out what it is. Like me and you bond over pool. Now we realize that we both like movies.
Right. Exactly.
And we both also agree that we're both two good-looking guys, so that helps too.
My gosh, look. My gosh, if you don't know, let me take my glasses off. So it's me.
There we go. There's Kaiser Sose.
Right.
But yeah, I guess even like, if we want to keep going on scenes that were good, like when they're in the locker room and they started singing together, like I kind of like that. Like,
yeah, I forgot the guy name. I want to say Blue. You got me thinking about Blue, the big guy that didn't want to go to college. He was thinking he was too dumb to go to college and stuff.
White guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was his name in the movie? Ethan Suplee is his real name.
Oh, but the other good scene for that, he got into college. He got
Louis,
a C+ average.
Yeah.
He had a C+ average. He hugged the coach at the end of the season. You know what I mean? Like that's a great scene because the coach told him to come see me.
Yeah.
Show me your grades. Let's talk about it. It's a bunch of great scenes in there. That's like, I care not because you're black or white. I care because you're seeking knowledge. You want to be better. I care. You know what I mean? So There's a lot of scenes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, let's flip it then. Let's talk about our least favorite scene. Do you have a least favorite scene in this movie then?
I do. It wasn't the acting, it wasn't nothing like that. It's basically the first day of school. Realization hits when they come back and they're not in camp anymore. And society, when they come in there, they got picketing signs and you got people saying racial slurs. It wasn't, like I said, the scene was a good scene. It was a good depiction of what happened. But the problem I had is like, it's the hate. Like out of all that good, the hate come back, and then what does it do? It kind of just come back all again. So now all these folks resurface. Exactly. I'm sorry. Yeah, resurface, and it just makes the team a little more vulnerable again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that was my thing. I mean, I love the scene. It made sense. I mean, I felt like I've never been in a situation like that. But yeah, I've never been in a situation like that. But I can imagine going somewhere and you as a young black kid, and I'm scared.
Yeah.
Because people don't want me there, and it's hard to be somewhere when nobody wants you.
For
So,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I
so
mean, obviously, I've never been in a situation like that where I've been scared, but no, that makes sense for that being least favorite scene. I wrote
yeah.
down two for my least favorite scene, and both of them you're probably gonna disagree with me on. But so like at that one game when they do the little dance before the game,
Yeah.
man, I don't like that dance. Like I don't know if it's real life, if they really did that or not. And if they did it in real life, that's cool. But I feel like the dance that they did in this movie is just not. I don't think that's how people would have danced in 1971. Like,
Maybe.
does that make sense? Like, I mean, like you watch Ryan Gosling in that scene, he's sitting there doing like a little slide, like
Right,
how
right.
like I don't think this is what people did in 1971.
Well, I'm thinking they might not have done that dance, but they probably did something a little easier for everyone to do.
Yeah, which
But
and that's cool that they if they did that, but they should have kept it real. You know what I'm saying? Do the
yeah,
simpler dance.
yeah. I mean, but I guess the dance was a message.
Yeah,
It was a message to the crowd. It was a message to the community. It
yeah,
wasn't
which
really, it wasn't more so. It wasn't nothing more than that. Just a message.
yeah,
We're one. We're one
yeah,
team.
which
One team, one
again,
fight.
yeah, and
Yeah.
again, I get all that. I just didn't
Yeah.
like the particular dance they did. It didn't seem time appropriate.
Right.
Like,
I got it. I got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the other part that I just really didn't like, and again, I don't know, just the opening of the movie and the ending of the movie where they're at the funeral. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna put them at the funeral, like let's show a little bit of them actually interacting.
Yeah. They show what this standing and
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, like I don't know if you ever watched A League of Their Own. Did you ever see that? The women baseball
Yeah. The
movie?
women's football, baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they open that with them at like a reunion and close it with them at a reunion, but they interact like it's like a 5-minute scene.
Right. It's yeah. You're right. They were just standing there. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So to me, it was just kind of like, okay, like what's the point of this? Like I get that you want to show that they're still, friends and they still come together, but I don't know, it just didn't seem. I could have done without it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right. Right. They could have
yeah.
showed that at
So
the end of the movie, and it still had the same effect. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, those are my least favorite scenes. Are really just me just nitpicking, really.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't know if this is one of my favorites or my least favorite scene was that was my least favorite scene the first day of school, but also the when they threw the brick through the house
Oh yeah.
and it took through the brick through the house, and then when he had the conversation with the coach, the other coach, and he's like
Okay.
he put his daughter in danger. And one of my things was you really don't understand the plight of anybody that's going through anything until you go through it yourself.
Oh yeah.
And he said, my daughter, you put my daughter in danger with all your rhetoric. And he didn't really understand. This is even if I don't say anything, this is my life every day. You just got a glimpse of my life, my everyday life. And
It,
you never know. And that I mean, I know it was just racially motivated in this movie, but that transcends beyond just race. I mean, you could be going through something that I have no clue about, and then you might be getting bullied or whatever, and I'm around and we get bullied or whatever, and you just don't know who people going through,
yeah.
but until you go through it, it's like, oh, I can understand the feelings now. So
Yeah. That's definitely the one thing that I have against Coach Yost was that scene where he was blaming Coach Boone for putting his daughter in danger. I'm like, dude, you should have known that something like that's a possibility, really, when you send your daughter over there. You know what I'm saying?
well,
Like,
you don't
I
know.
mean, that's something.
It never happened to him, and
Yeah,
he never and they never interacted with anybody other than their kind. I can say their
yeah,
kind. I hate to say it like that, but if
yeah,
you don't
yeah. Come
interact,
on,
you
man.
don't know.
Why do you gotta say it racist like that, man?
I know I said that was bad. That was bad, but they never interacted with they never did the interracial
Yeah.
bonding or anything, so you wouldn't know.
No, yeah,
So
yeah. Still, it was just yeah.
yeah, but
Uh,
he was still trying to he was still trying to figure it out himself. He was just being open
oh yeah,
about
for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He was not afraid to be open and say what was on his mind.
Right. So,
You ready to
I
move into our favorite character though?
oh yeah, we can. Okay.
Like I thought coming into this that we were gonna have different ones, but now you say that Coach Boone is not. I really honestly thought Coach Boone Denzel would be your favorite character.
No.
All
Nope.
right, well, tell me then, what is your favorite? Who is your favorite character?
The little girl.
The little white girl,
Yeah.
little Hayden Panettiere, little Cheryl.
That's her name. It's
Yeah,
Cheryl.
yeah.
Loved her in this movie. She acted her butt off in this
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I liked her because of her spunk, her loyalty. It wasn't about at any point. It wasn't even about color. It was about, oh, they're good, or this was great. It was
Oh yeah.
always about football with her and her dad, of course, because her dad was a good coach. But she had football running through her veins. Like that was my favorite character. No
Oh,
matter she has no bias on nobody.
no,
So
literally the only reason, everybody else was hating on Coach Boone because he was black or whatever. She was only hating on him because he took her dad's job,
exactly.
like, and it's like, yeah, no, she was awesome, dude. And like you said, a great acting job by Hayden. Like I could
Right.
see why she became super, popular.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of surprises me. That answer still surprises me on your point. Like, I really thought that this was going to be like honestly, like I had three people written down for my favorite character because I really honestly couldn't decide on who my favorite was. But I was gonna be honest with you, I chose three white guys, and I thought for sure like you would choose, like what I'm saying. Like I was like, okay, like we're gonna choose three people on three different sides on both sides here. Like,
Oh
um,
no.
but no, I think in order. Here's the order that I wrote them down, and you can kind of just tell me what you think for my favorite character. First I wrote down Sunshine, the long
Mhm.
haired quarterback.
I know.
Then I wrote down Gary, the main
Yeah.
yeah, and then I wrote down Coach Yost, the white
Yeah.
coach. So I really couldn't decide. I like something about all three of them. I like Gary because he was the first one to really kind of buy into like, hey, I want to play football, and if I have a different coach, so be it. Like I'm still gonna play, I'm still gonna play football.
So I agree. Gary was he played the hell out of that part. But I think if you have noticed, the only thing about Gary, he didn't have his father in his life. His father died.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
So he was the man. He was the one that made the decisions. If you notice about all the other white kids, their dad was pushing them, or their dad had a lot of influence on
Oh yeah, for
why they
sure.
had so much hate. So that's why I think he was a little more uh, susceptible to like this. I'm open to this because he had nobody else pushing him, saying, "This is what you need to do, son."
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I know I'm going deep into the the psyche of these people, but I look at it like if he had that dad. I forgot the guy who they took him out of the game because he kept getting burnt.
Yeah, Ryan
Um,
Gosling's character, his
right,
dad.
Ron got
Yeah,
yes,
I mean Ryan Gosling was a horrible linebacker, couldn't keep up with nobody.
right. So his dad, came to the office and stuff like that. Like his dad was pushing anything, but he wasn't a hateful character. He didn't have a hateful character, but just
Yeah,
think of some of these older white men that was actually into. Um, so this is 1971. So them guys had to be around 30. So we're talking about
yeah,
1950,
yeah. I mean, yeah, they were probably born like in the 40s, maybe. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you gotta look at some of the dynamics of that. And then you said so
Yeah.
Sunshine, Sunshine
Dude
was
had,
just
dude had a
free.
cannon of an arm, man.
Yeah, Sunshine was just a free guy, and he was actually he was a good quarterback. Um,
He even
another
played
good
defense there in the state championship.
right. Another good scene though. Another
Yeah,
another good
yeah,
scene was he couldn't pitch. He couldn't like I can throw it, but he can't pitch the ball.
yeah.
Another good
I
scene is
figured
when
it.
Rev came in and said, "I'll show you." Show him.
Yeah,
It's like every moment in this movie, I'm showing you got two different races showing the other one how to lead, how to do something, and
yeah,
it brings them closer together. So
for
that was
sure.
another good scene. This made me think about it when we talk about Sunshine.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe I just like Sunshine because I feel like he was the best football player out of all the like. I feel like he was the best player on that team,
Yeah, he
and
probably was good.
also, all the girls liked him when he was doing yoga there, and they were all looking out the window at him. And but he's from California,
He's from
so he's in
California, right?
California.
California
Yeah,
always get all the crazy stuff first, and then it kind of goes across the to the
yeah.
east.
Well, when what's his name? When Petey was telling the girls that he was from California, I think he was kind of meaning that he was gay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But so the funny thing with that is I never thought he was gay. I thought he just did that just to mess with.
I think so
Uh,
too.
yeah, he wasn't gay. So
No, I
yeah,
mean, yeah, I don't know though. I mean, you rewatch it. I mean, he wears a choker around his neck at one point. That doesn't
but
seem,
he's a
you know,
hippie. It's
he is a
1970.
hippie. Yeah.
1970. He's a hippie. So you got to look. You got to think about the time. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
That's what they did back then. So
But yeah, I think I'm leaning. Yeah, I think I'm leaning even more as we talk. I think I'm leaning more into him being my favorite character.
right.
Like, I mean, dude, I mean, and it really just comes down to the fact that at the end of the day, I still want this to be a football movie, and he was the best football player on that team.
right, right, right.
Well, let's flip it then. Let's talk about our least favorite character.
Who I have my least? You can go first. I'm trying to look for who I have my least favorite character because
All
I
right,
didn't
so
have.
my least favorite character, I'm gonna go with Emma, who was Gary's girlfriend. She basically
Oh,
refused to meet Julius at one point, and then kind of was like, "Yeah, I'm not talking to any of them people. Like, I'm
yeah.
good with what I do." And then at the end, when Gary gets paralyzed, she's like, "Oh, I guess I'll go meet him now." I'm like, "Yeah, a little too late, lady. Like a little
No,
too
no,
late."
no. Because remember, so you remember she said, Gary, I'm a try.
Yeah,
I just can't. I'm a try, and she just didn't try. What made her try is the accident that happened to Gary. So she tried harder. So she gave him a chance. I mean, I get you. I didn't like her either.
yeah,
But favorite character. So in the same vein, I forgot the guy named Ray. His name Ray. Didn't
right.
like Ray as much. Ray played his character perfectly because right
Oh,
now if I see Ray, I'm like, oh, I hate Ray. And I know he playing the character, but
dude, underrated actor for sure. He killed it in this movie.
he killed it. Every time you see Ray, he had a frown on his face. He had some little crazy look on his face. I hate it here. I don't want to be here. Um, yes, Ray was my least favorite least favorite person in the movie.
Yeah.
Played the hell out that part though.
But acting wise, I would say he would be probably in the top 3 or 4 for
Mhm.
acting jobs in this movie for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, he played that part. But again, Ray is one of those. We talked about it earlier. His father was probably around. Ray is
Oh
fueled by
yeah,
his dad. He's fueled. I tell my kids this: hate is taught. Certain hate is
yeah,
taught. And once you keep feeling it, it just goes through generations. So
dude. Ray is probably one of those guys where like 30 years after this movie, he was probably still a racist asshole.
maybe, sometimes it takes people a minute to just understand the dynamics or understand we're not different. I might listen
Yeah,
to different music. I might dress a different way. When I go home, I have the same problem. Like my heartbeat just like yours. I got to pay rent. I got to do this. I got kids. The kids get. I mean, there's so many commonalities. There's more commonalities in between races than there are anything different. And
yeah,
I
but
think, yeah, I know people don't
I
realize
think
that.
Ray was one of those guys. He probably got pissed when his wife got a job. He probably beat his kid when he said like Ray's one of those guys that we probably still hate to this day. Like he probably hangs out in the pool room with us, really, and we probably just hate him.
I'm sure it's a Ray in the pool room. I'm
Yeah,
sure there was a Ray in the pool room.
but
I
great
can
acting job. So that actor's name is Burgess Jenkins, who I've never ever,
Burgess Jenkins. Okay,
yeah, never seen him. Never, yeah. He's one of the ones where you're like, how did he not do more after this movie?
right.
Like
Burgess.
honestly, I mean, how did he not do more after this movie?
He might did a couple of B movies, so it depends on like what
Well, I'm sure
roles
he
you
did.
take.
Like, yeah, I'm sure he did something that I just probably
Yeah,
haven't seen.
right. It depends on the roles you take. So
Yeah. On that same one, Gary. Gary. I never really saw that actor really in much.
I have Gary's in some. Gary is in.
He was in
I
Sons
don't
of
even,
Anarchy. I know that.
yes, he is in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
He is.
But that's it. That's
Yeah,
all I know.
I think he's in another. He's in something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not in big roles. Like that's probably his biggest role that I remember.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I mean, really, probably Petey was probably the one that succeeded the most after this, other than
He
Denzel.
does. What do he do? He only do commercials.
No, that dude was on Scrubs for like 12 years.
He was right,
Yeah.
right.
I
He
mean,
was the
come on,
doctor.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he played, yeah, he was the black doctor.
Right.
Yeah. And
I forgot.
he was in
He was in a lot of movies, but I know he does that commercial, the commercial today.
yeah, he does do those now, yeah. You're right. But that's with the other doctor from Scrubs. He's
Oh,
in that
I didn't
commercial
know.
too with him. Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the funny part of that commercial. What is that a commercial for? Spectrum? I don't even know what it is.
No.
No? Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to commercials really.
Right. I hate commercials.
So now let's get into our couple of our stupid categories here.
Yeah.
Number one, could The Rock play a role in this movie?
He could have played a football coach.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Could have played a football coach.
Which
Not much to
he
say.
did. He did a football movie, The Gridiron Gang.
Yeah. Was that the one did prison little the boys in prison or something?
Yeah, Juvenile. They were in juvie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see it? It was okay.
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah. It was one of Rock's first movies.
I mean,
Dwayne Johnson played in that.
Yeah, the Rock just sucks, man. It's like his movies, like they have good stories. Like The Gridiron Gang should have been good, but it wasn't as heartfelt as this movie. That's what it was
Right.
missing.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes
Agreed.
Remember the Titans so well is that it really hits you. It hits you right there in the heart.
Exactly. It does.
Like,
It does.
I don't know if it's you said it was a tear jerker. I don't think I ever really showed any tears, but you know, I could see why people did.
Yeah. It was, and maybe it was. Yeah. I don't know why. As I said, it was a tearjerker for me
Yeah.
because me. I come from that area, and I think if you know about that area, we're not that nice of people. Meaning, like
Yeah.
we don't give as much as we should. We don't speak. Like when you come down here, everybody speaks. Everybody says hi at least.
Oh yeah.
But you come from a different area. That area is a little more desensitized to being a nice person, and you get penalized for being nice.
Well, that sucks.
Sometimes, I mean, not everyone's not the same, but for the most part,
Yeah.
you kind of grow up kind of hard.
I got you.
So,
All right. So the next category, well, we'll skip over the nudity category.
yes, skip over
Yeah,
that.
absolutely not. So should they have made a sequel? Could they have made this
No.
a TV show, or should they remake it?
I think it's good where it's at. Actually, I can't make a sequel.
No.
A TV show, no, because this right here was a memorable moment. So
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a memorable moment. So
Yeah, and then I mean, hopefully you can't remake anything that Denzel was in because who would play his role?
exactly, who will play Denzel role?
I mean, nobody's ever going to play any role as good as he has.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
But I mean, I think if they made a TV show now about the movie, like I think it would probably be decent, maybe.
I don't know.
but
How would
again,
you break it up? You have to make a TV show about the movie, so you have to take pieces of the movie and split it up into like what 8 or 9.
Yeah, it could be like probably 8 or 9 episodes, like a one season kind of deal, like they do now with some of these shows.
They can
Like you
do
could
that.
almost do like each episode is like kind of like Friday Night Lights, how they did that with that show, where each episode is kind of like a game, like 1 week, like
1 week of
leading up to the game.
Got it.
Like,
yeah.
It could be like, it could kind of go more in depth, instead of having the game montage that we had halfway through the movie, we could actually see highlights of those games and, what kind of stuff happened during those weeks. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Because I'm sure they had more problems than we saw in this movie.
Absolutely. I think they had problems every week. I'm sure more dads came up there. I'm sure it was more picketing. I'm sure there was a lot of things. So.
And I mean, it's funny too, because this movie is like 2 hours long almost, but yet it almost just doesn't go into enough detail.
It kind of scrapes the surface.
Yeah.
Of a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very weird. Like they spent so much time on that first scene at the training camp, which is the best. And after that, it's like they just kind of skim over the rest of the season until like the end, and you're like, how did I just watch a 2 hour movie and like nothing really happens for like half of it?
Right, right. You're right.
But
It wasn't that out of detail.
no, it was not a lot of detail at all. And I don't know, maybe that's one reason why I've never went back and rewatched it until now.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like, when was the last time you fully watched it before yesterday or the day before?
Because I remember the movie because I can remember it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're
Oh yeah,
right. You don't need a whole bunch of detail because there's a lot of summation. So you
yeah.
don't need detail.
It's like there's a lot of stuff. Like I remember all the key parts of the movie, but it was like all like the middle part of the movie I just did not remember. Like when they walked in that one restaurant and the guy was Sunshine and the two black players and they were like and the owner of the store or restaurant was like, oh no, like I can refuse service to anybody. I was like, I did not remember that at all.
Right. I did. So I mean, I remembered it when they was about to go in there. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I said, there was just a lot that I don't remember. Is there anything else you want to add that we haven't mentioned yet?
I do. I have a couple of other things.
Yeah.
So the most impactful scene for you. I know it's your
Um,
favorite scene. I know your favorite scene was what it was, but what's the most impactful scene? Like, but yours probably was impactful. The strong side.
yeah. I mean, no, I mean, honestly, probably impactful was probably, man, I don't know. Probably like, yeah, I don't know. That probably was maybe the part during the state championship, or not even the state championship. I think was it the state championship when the referees were kind of making bad calls, and then Coach Yost was finally like, "Hey, I'm going to go over there and
Right.
like." To me, that was kind of like, okay, like now, like the story's complete now. The complete now, like that was kind of like that was the end of the story. I feel like that was like, okay, now we really do care about each other. We're all on the same page. We're a team. Who
Right.
cares about anything else now?
Yeah. That
So
was
maybe that
impactful.
part, like that was probably the one part where I was like, okay, like this is actually like really cool.
Right. It was self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
It was selfless. What he did was selfless because basically he could have got Boone out of there.
Yeah.
All the calls he would have lost. He would have got fired, and he back at head coach. And then
Hmm.
he's number one for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was an impactful piece. Let everyone knows, like I'm with him, and when he was with me, we together. This team is one. It's not about black or white. It's about this
Exactly.
team, about these kids. That was an impactful thing. I didn't even think
Yeah.
about that one.
Which one did you have written down?
Where Gary kicked Ray off the team.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it was one of those moments where the actual team said, we're you're not bigger than the team. Like this is a team. You don't like somebody, you don't like somebody on the team, that's fine, but you have to respect the position that you play. And
Absolutely.
he went to the coach and said, look, he's not doing it. And it was his buddy. That was like his buddy. So
Yeah.
that's hard too, when you actually have to tell your friend you're off the team, and you know,
Oh, yeah. I mean, that had
and
to
he
be
did
super tough.
right, and he did. So
I like that. Yeah, I did like that part. I was surprised we haven't mentioned that part yet, honestly.
yeah, so it was impactful. That was, to me, that was an impactful scene. And kind of sometimes you got to give your friends the hard truth.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, give your friends the hard
Yeah.
truth, and
I mean,
that was
yeah, you play to win the game. You don't play and like basically screw your teammates over because you don't like them.
right, right. Yeah, you keep playing, you keep playing.
Yeah.
So,
All
yep.
right. What else did you have written down?
So, favorite quotes. I had a few favorite quotes,
All right, let's hear them.
and this is what's Woody name in the movie?
Woody. Oh, Julius.
Julius
Yeah.
told Gary, attitude reflects leadership.
Yeah.
Because he was basically out there doing his own thing. And he said, you want to be the captain of the team, attitude reflects leadership. And I just and when I heard it, I just thought about it from, I supervise people at my job. I'm like, so that's absolutely right. That's
Oh yeah.
absolutely right. Um, so the attitude of the team reflects the leadership. If your leadership sucks, most times your team going to suck.
Yeah,
It's,
and I
it's
mean,
good.
he was telling that because he wasn't holding everybody accountable. Like he was only getting on the the black players about
Right,
messing up. He wasn't talking to the white kids.
right. He wasn't talking to Ray
Yeah,
because
exactly. Yeah,
this was another Ray thing. So this
yeah.
was the first
Oh
time
yeah,
they
Ray was like all the problem.
right,
Yeah.
right,
No, that's
um,
definitely a good quote for sure, and it's true.
right. And I think my other one was trust the soul of a man instead of the look of him. That
Oh,
was
that's a good one.
Coach Yours. Right, what's his name?
Coach
Yours.
Yost.
Yours. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
he said that, and that was one of his quotes on that at the end, I believe.
yeah. That was like towards the end when he said that.
Yeah. So that was so that's basically all I had. I mean, we kind of understand the plot, understand what they was getting at, understand how what they was trying to depict during this time. But
No, I like both those quotes. I don't really have a quote. I'd have to really, I need more time to think about. Uh, yeah, honestly, I couldn't, none of them really stuck out to me, really.
yeah,
I would have had to think about that going into the movie, probably.
yeah. So the reason I look at things like this, I look at quotes like this because I use it in everyday life.
Yeah.
Like I'm on pool. We on pool. I'm on a pool team. So you know,
Oh,
when we start arguing, we start fussing about something. That's the quote.
no, that's a
The
good one.
attitude reflects leadership. Attitude reflects leadership.
I like
If
that for sure.
and how we are in pool with timeouts.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
too good to have a timeout. No, so but you think about it, stuff like that. So
We should,
yes.
yeah, we should start adding this to every movie. Like our favorite quote. We should start thinking about that for every movie we do.
Okay, sounds good.
I think that'd be pretty cool because a lot of the like last week, the one we did last week, old school, we had a bunch of quotes in that one.
You had a bunch of quotes.
So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Did you have anything else?
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's I guess then for our last like little category here, since this is our second movie together, let's decide old school or Remember the Titans. Kaiser,
Mm,
which one are you gonna watch? If I was like, hey, I have these two movies, which one do you want to watch? Which one are you picking?
I'm probably gonna pick old school to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah, this is to be honest. Remember the Titans is a great movie, but yeah, the old school. I like to laugh. Being serious, I'm serious every day at work. So so yeah, old school.
No,
What
I
y'all say?
100% agree. I think Old School is the better movie. I think it keeps you engaged for the whole movie. This one kind of again, they kind of just skim over a lot of stuff where I feel like you don't need to pay attention, which is weird because I do love sports movies and most of the time I'm going to pick a sports movie over anything else, but man, Old School is just so funny.
Yeah.
And we talked about we don't really know what the plot of the movie was or what the story of the movie was, but you're still invested the whole time, and you're like, I don't want to look away because I might miss something. Whereas, Remember the Titans, honestly, you could look away for a couple of minutes here and there
Right.
and not really miss anything.
True. True. But remember, Titans is not a sports movie, and I probably should have got a good sports movie like the program. Remember the program back in the day?
That would have been a way better choice because I've probably not seen that movie in like 10 years.
Yeah.
So
But I probably should have did that movie when we talking about sports movies. Yeah, but
yeah, I mean, it could, and there's other sports other than football too, also, by the way, like we could have done White Man Can't Jump.
that's not a sports movie.
White Man Can't Jump is so a sports movie.
No,
No, come on. What would you classify that as then?
that's it has sports in it. It's the same thing. I mean, it happened because of sports, but it is not the movie. The I guess the reason for the movie wasn't because of basketball. It's just because the guy played basketball. Just like
Yeah.
this. The meaning of this movie had nothing to do with the football team. The
No,
football team
yeah,
was just a catalyst of how they came together. That's it.
yeah. After
So
rewatching this movie, yeah, I don't think I count this as a sports movie anymore.
Right. It's not a sports movie. It has
Yeah,
football in it. Now the program, all about sports.
yeah.
I know, LeBron has a movie or like some kind of movie. Yeah, it was
Didn't
okay.
like it. Didn't like
Yeah.
it.
Um,
Hoosiers. That's a sports movie.
I never seen it. I never seen it. The
Oh,
Hoosiers.
well,
Okay.
you should watch that one. It's pretty good.
Okay. They have no volleyball sports movie, any women sports movie. I mean,
Any women's sports movies?
right.
Man, A League of Their Own. We already mentioned it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that actually was a
We could
pretty good
redo
movie.
that. We could redo that because I love, love, love that movie.
You ain't the only one. I like that movie as well.
Well, then we're gonna add that to our list.
Right. I like that movie as well. Marla Hooch is my favorite character. I'm let you know that now. So
Man, I don't know. I really liked Madonna's character. I don't know. I don't remember her character's name, but I just liked
well,
Madonna at that point in time.
well, everybody like Madonna at some point in time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
But overall, remember the Titans. Definitely recommend though. Everybody should watch this movie at some point.
Yes. Yes. I absolutely agree. I do also. I agree. If I think it's some. It probably bring some perspective about racial tensions in the '70s and prior.
Yeah.
And kind of show you, and that's further north. If you notice, this is further north. I mean, Alexandria is still below the Mason-Dixon line,
Yeah.
Dixie line,
Dixon.
Dixie, right? Dixon,
Yeah.
Dixie line, Mason-Dixie line. But as you further go, as you travel south, I can only imagine the craziness that went on during that time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, if they would have picked a town in like South Carolina or Georgia, it probably would have been a lot crazier.
Right. And yeah. So, but I think they're getting away. They're getting off of telling stories like that because I think I can say ignorant people still. I can't blame you for the sins of your father. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like
Well,
it happened. Yeah.
it's also that story. I mean, I know it. Obviously, people need to know about it, but there's just been so many movies already that cover that topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is, but and so many movies that cover that topic. But I think sometimes the kids today don't understand. At least the black kids I know don't understand history because they just don't understand history, and I don't know. Yeah, I talk. I got young kids in school, young black kids in school. So we talk about certain things. We talk about slavery. We talk about separation, all that stuff, and I ask questions just to see where their heads are, and so they can understand. Like
That's smart.
you don't have to dwell on it. You just have to. You can know it. You don't dwell on the past, and you learn from the past and be better and just be better. But that's it.
That brings up another movie that we should probably do at some point that I really like is Django Unchained.
Jane, I didn't like that movie.
You didn't like that movie?
Mm-mm.
Wow,
Didn't like it.
that's crazy. Is it because you don't like Leonardo DiCaprio?
No. I didn't like Jamie Foxx in the movie.
Yeah, but everybody likes Jamie Foxx.
I didn't like him. No, I didn't like him in the movie.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't like him in the movie. I seen it. I could. That's one of those movies, like you say, I can go grab something and come back and not miss nothing.
Yeah, it has a dude, but that's every Quentin Tarantino movie is like every Quentin Tarantino movie is 2.5 hours long, and literally you can take out probably an hour plus and not miss anything.
Right, it's filler.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Okay,
it was okay, but we can do it though. I mean,
no. I mean,
it's not gonna get a rave review.
I mean, hey, I mean, sometimes we got to do a bad movie now, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes we can just find a movie that we can just talk trash about for an hour.
that sounds good to me.
I mean, sometimes that's fun to do,
trash movie.
Yeah.
Like, who's your favorite character? None. Nobody.
None. Yeah.
Everybody's trash.
Yeah, maybe go back and search through Film as Literature archives here and look at the one that me and Josh did for Taxi Driver. You'll hear us kind of talk trash about that for an hour. I don't know.
Josh.
Remember that movie?
No, I never seen the Taxi Driver.
Oh, okay, it's it was Robert De Niro's like first movie.
Oh, yeah, that was probably in the what
It was,
60s.
no, it was like early 70s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's so bad. We it was hard for us to find anything good to talk about.
that's bad. That's bad.
Like
Okay.
I think for favorite scene, I wrote down the credits.
Right. That's the favorite scene. I know
Yeah.
everybody's name. Right.
But no, you picked a good one for this one, man. Remember the Titans, always a good movie. Like I said, it was cool watching it all the way through for maybe the first time in 20 years.
Right. Yeah.
So, dude, I feel like we've covered everything that we need to cover.
Yep. We have. I think you need to pick the next movie.
Okay.
Don't pick no duds.
Man, I'll try to pick something. I'm gonna try to pick something maybe that you haven't seen, just to kind of change it a little bit.
Good.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to really a first time movie that we can talk about maybe. I mean, maybe something I've seen that you haven't seen.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Well, Kaiser, it's been fun. And
Yes, sir.
hopefully people enjoy watching or listening. You can look up Film as Literature on Spotify or follow the YouTube page, Podcast Hell. That's what I call the YouTube page. And Kaiser, I guess I'll see you at the pool hall.
Yes, you will.
All right, dude.
Yes, you
Check
will.
you
Thanks
later.
for having me. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.